Queridos amigos, oigan, pues el día de hoy vamos a hablar de un programa que créanme les va a cambiar la vida aquí en Canadá y además de todo es gratis, está dirigido a migrantes, así que pongan mucha atención. Bienvenidos a The Bridge Canadá. Oigan, pero antes quiero agradecer de manera muy especial a Carla Vadillo. Carla es agente de hipotecas en este país, es mortgage agent, la pueden ver en pantalla en estos momentos. Los invitamos, por supuesto, a que contacten a Carla si es que están pensando en comprar una casa en Canadá o incluso quieren hacerlo en 1 o 2 años. Carla los va a poder ayudar. Y Carla, quiero agradecerte todo tu apoyo a nuestro proyecto. Oigan, pero ¿de qué se trata este programa que les digo que les va a cambiar la vida y que es grande y que es además gratis? Quiero decirles que se llama Workplace Communication in Canada Program. Lo encabeza Ryerson University. Por si no lo saben, Ryerson University es una de las universidades con más prestigio en este país. Este programa va enfocado a migrantes que quieren insertarse en el mercado profesional o de manera laboral en este país. Y bueno, como les dije, es gratis. Les voy a dar 3 razones además por las cuales vale mucho la pena este programa. Van a mejorar su nivel de inglés, van a aprender a hacer networking, lo cual es súper importante si es que ustedes están llegando aquí a empezar una vida aquí en Canadá. Y además van a tener algunos consejos, algunos tips sobre cómo insertarse en este país. Y el día de hoy estamos muy contentos, le damos la bienvenida a Katerina Velasquez-Kouska. Welcome, Katerina. She is the program manager of this program at Ryerson University. Hello, Katerina.
Hi, Cynthia. My pleasure to be here with you.
Okay, so Katerina, please give us an introduction about the program. What is this all about?
Mm-hmm. So, luckily, in 2007, Ryerson University applied for funding to develop a program, Workplace Communication in Canada, to help newcomers, internationally educated professionals, really understand the culture, the working culture in Canada, so they stay away from making errors that people from all over the world, like me, a Macedonian, like you, from Mexico, or anywhere from the world, tend to make not knowingly. So luckily, we got the funding, the program was developed, and it has been running ever since, thanks to the government support through bursaries, so that people can take the program without having to carry the load of the fees of almost $3,000. So that is a great thing that the Ontario government is doing for bridge training program for internationally educated professionals. So I'm really glad to be here and to talk a little bit more about the program, the eligibility criteria, the bursary, which is a word that in Canada that is used widely in Canada for a scholarship, a grant, so that people understand, because bursary is not a very common word for all of us coming to Canada.
So when we are talking about the content on the program, we of course are inviting many people from our audience, Latin American people, to join. What exactly they will be learning at this program?
Yes, you can see from the flyer that we will be presenting that the program consists of 4 courses, and each course is developed and is taught by a subject matter expert in the field. So our instructors are absolutely great. All of our students just love them, and they stay in touch and they get references if they need from our instructors. So we have 4 courses in this course series that are offered to our students making, the program. The first one, effective speaking and listening skills. It really focuses on a lot of things where our candidates, what we hear from them, become so self-confident in understanding that it is not their accent, that it is not the way they speak, but it is to be understood and to, of course, use the language properly. But again, a lot of emphasis on the importance of listening skills, because again, being from Macedonia, I can speak about my country and my culture. That is not our strong, feature, to listen well and wait for our, the partner to finish before we start talking. It's something like we go all over each other. The second course is really focused on how do we serve whoever our customer, client, student, patient may be, because this program is pan-professional. So we say client-centered communication, but that client can be anything. So we have engineers, we have doctors, we have social workers in our programs, and people who were teaching previously before coming to Canada. So we are addressing how do we serve well and how do we communicate well with the people we're serving. The third course is focused on presentation skills, presenting with impact. And we are all in a situation to present something. Is it, an accountant presenting the report to their team members or supervisors? So how to become really confident and knowledgeable about presentation and how, a Canadian culture likes things to be presented in a way that is effective, that is efficient, and that is impactful. The last course, the teamwork communication, as we all know, Canada is getting more and more diverse. 400,000 newcomers are coming to Canada every year. So the teams are becoming more and more diverse. So it is not that it's me, the only person in a team that is an immigrant, and everybody else is a Canadian, born, raised, educated. No, the teams are becoming more and more diverse because that's what each organization is now all about, diversity. So in this course, we really focus on how to understand each other, coming from, again, different cultures, different ways of communication, and how to resolve problems, how not to get into, an issue that might be offending, that might cause, conflict. So all of that is covered in the last course. So in a nutshell, a lot of aspects, and the most important aspects of what communication in a Canadian workplace today looks like.
Oh, yeah. What an amazing program. I have to say that I was part of the program last year and it was amazing. After 7 years in Canada, the only thing I regret is that I didn't take it before. Believe me, it was spectacular. And this is why I said, Katerina, you need to come. You need to, to show what is this program about. And I'm sure many, many people from our community can take advantage of it. I want to ask
And
you.
if I may say, Cynthia, our best ambassadors are our former students, alumni of the program, the graduates of the program. And that is why every year when we receive a number of bursaries, when I started with the program, we only had 50 bursaries, and now we are at 125. So the government is really happy with what they hear from our alumni, and that, all of the bursaries are used. So every year we ask for 25 more, and luckily we have been receiving the support.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I want to ask you, so who can apply? What's eligibility for the program?
Mm-hmm. So yes, it is very, very important that people are aware. We don't want anybody to be disappointed. So whenever we do information sessions and promote our program, we really like them to see the flyer. And you have a copy of the flyer. So I will be following the requirements and the eligibility criteria that are mentioned on our flyer. Can we see the flyer, please?
Yes, of course. We're going to see the flyer on the screen. Just give us a moment.
Yes.
And you will be able to see the eligibility.
Great. So the eligibility is just next to the courses that I just described. Because the workplace communication in Canada is a bridge training program, it has to follow the guidelines and the funding, criteria from the Ontario government. So it is funded by the provincial government. So that's one of the most important things. And that is why citizenship, permanent residence in Ontario, or protected person status, again in Ontario, an address in Ontario, is what the government requires for the participants to join the program, and again to get the bursary. Another criteria, I'm going from the third to the second now, is the Canadian language benchmark, or the equivalent score is it IELTS? Is it TOEFL? That is really making people feel comfortable because there's online material, there's communication in class. So we want them all to succeed. And a CLB of 6 was set by the government as the lowest level of English language proficiency, the Canadian language benchmark of 6. And people may know that YMCA is the agency that you can go and assess your language skills, and that's the CLB score on all 4 skills. And the last one is, again, mentioning that this is a program for internationally educated professionals. The requirement is that our students are already professionals, have at least a bachelor's degree from the country that they come from, or any other country but Canada. So the degree cannot be from Canada. An advanced degree can be from Canada, but the bachelor's degree has to be from outside of Canada. And that's mainly what the 3 main criteria to join the program are. Of course, I will be talking about yet another criteria, which is the eligibility for the financial support, for the bursary. Before we go there, I want to finish with the flyer so we don't have to go back to the flyer. And that the information that is included in the flyer is describing how are these courses, how is the program run. Before the pandemic, our groups would meet at different locations around the city, including Ryerson, Newcomer Center of Peel, the Thorncliffe Neighborhood Organization, Mennonite New Life Center. So a lot of agencies, or Learning Enrichment Foundations. So a lot of agencies, our partners, were happy to offer space and, of course, serve their clients on Saturdays, and our instructors would go to the classes, to the groups, and teach at these different locations around GTA. So we try to accommodate our students and be as close as possible to where they were. Is it North York? Is it this side of the city? Is it Mississauga, or closer to downtown? Well, since March, as we know, of 2020, we could not teach in class, we could not teach face-to-face, but quickly we turned the in-class sessions into virtual sessions. So the 5-hour in-class sessions in a classroom was replaced to a 4-hour virtual session through Zoom. So our students are again getting together, the groups are getting together on Saturdays in the morning, 10 o'clock, and the instruction would start. With a break, of course, for lunch, we would run each session until 2 p.m. Saturday seemed to be the best day to do so because, as we know, during the pandemic, every laptop, every computer in the household may be busy with students who are studying. But Saturdays are usually good day, and there would be somebody to take care of the children if there are young children in the household. So students could focus on the class. And of course, camera on. We try to really imitate a real classroom session. So there will be group work, there will be presentations, but again, we see each other, we talk to each other. So that has been working really well in the past 2 years. And our students are even saying in the anonymous survey at the end of the program that even when we are allowed to go back in classrooms, that this should still be an option, because a lot of people found it very convenient to stay at home and do the program. But again, some were a little bit disappointed because they were hoping to be together with other people in a classroom, and really nothing can replace the human interaction, of course, in person. So we might go later when things go back to normal. We might have a little bit of both worlds, depending on who prefers either virtual or face-to-face instruction. So 15 Saturdays all in all, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. is what the attendance is. And we ask for perfect attendance because each course meets only 4 times. We do not teach on long weekends. So the courses will start in mid-March and will end in mid-July. If somebody has to travel, if God forbid, somebody's sick or a member of their household is sick and they cannot attend a course, they can keep their bursary, not attend that course, or sometimes even 2, and come back and complete the courses that they've missed, again under the same bursary. So you can use the bursary in a period of 3 years. So the government understands people are moving, people are getting some jobs that prevent them coming on Saturdays. I just heard from a participant who could not join the program last year because she got a job and her supervisor, because she was new, could not, let her not come on Saturdays to work. So now she's back. Now she's a senior there. And now she has the right to say, I will not be available on these Saturdays. And having the seniority, it has been approved.
Wow, that's so interesting. So they have at least 3 years to use the bursary, as you said.
Yes.
I want to ask you, okay, so now many people might be meeting the criteria. What's next? What's the next step? How can they apply?
So if those who are looking at the criteria to join the WCC program, of course, the second thing would be, do I qualify for the bursary? Because it is honestly, last year, out of 100 students, only 2 were self-financing their program. They were working and their salary was above the threshold that Ryerson and OSAP and OBAP are, setting. So 2 people self-financed, and previously, not last year, but previously, I've had a couple of employers who wanted to promote an internationally educated professional, an employee, and they were willing to pay for their courses so that they will then know that these people are ready to assume managerial positions. But 98% of our students are using the bursary, the scholarship, the full coverage that fully covers the cost of the program. As mentioned, each course, because they are regular university courses of 39 hours, the full tuition for the program is $2,860, $715 per course. It is a lot of money, and especially for newcomers. And we understand that, and luckily the government understands that. So this is how people will know and will self-assess their eligibility for the bursary. Can we see the application form, please?
Of course. There we go. So once they meet the criteria, the next step will be to fill this form that we are about to see, right?
Yes. Well, the next, I would go back to the flyer. At the bottom of the flyer, you can keep the application form for the bursary. But at the end of the flyer, I'm sorry. At the end of the flyer, there is a link where you can go to the application form. Like click here to get to the application form for the program, and also the contact information of the program assistant, Danielle Way, who is from Brazil. He's an alumni, a graduate of the program. So Danielle can answer any question, but also by clicking on the link here, you can start the application and you will see all the documents that the government requires us to collect. So there's a few forms that are really kind of proving that you are eligible for the program, including a copy of your degree, a copy of your CLB scores, a copy of a document that proves your residency in Ontario, but it is well listed at the beginning of the application form.
Katerina, just one more question. So where can people find the flyer? Should they be following LinkedIn, Ryerson University? I mean,
Yes. So you can follow Danielle's, my LinkedIn profile, but I was hoping that you can also, to the network, share the flyer with the network, and that way it would really reach everybody that is following you.
Of course.
So sharing the flyer to your network would be the best way, but also by joining my LinkedIn or Danielle Wei's LinkedIn, you will see the form on LinkedIn.
That's awesome.
A lot of NGOs are also promoting our program. So at least 30, and including Access Employment, including COSTI, including TNO, LEF, so many agencies are our partners, and they are also helping us organize info sessions for their clients.
Perfect. Okay, so now let's talk about the form for the application for the bursary.
Yes. So as we mentioned, the government confirmed that we are getting bursaries for this 2021-22 fiscal year, which started on April 1 of 2021 and is ending on March 31st, 2022. And that is why we are rushing now to get everybody on board and start the program on the 19th of March. 2 groups will start early on March 11th. March 12th. So this is what the form looks like. We can just go to page 2 because we always put a note that, the program will be funded. And now we know we got the letter from the government that the program is funded. So the first information is very personal information. Everything that you can see on the first page is what you know well. Your status, your degree, your family your marital status, all the personal information is on the first page, and that's something that you would not have any issues filling out. And then on the second page, you confirm that you're admitted in the workplace communication program, and that is the information that is needed there. You would say, yes, I'm admitted in workplace communication in Canada with Ryerson University. People who are currently on OSAP, who are currently full-time students and are receiving OSAP, they will have to wait until they finish their program that is covered by OSAP, because the government will clash. Your application for OBAP will clash with the application for OSAP. So, whenever there's a master's student, for example, at Ryerson applying for our program, eligible for the program, but when we ask for the bursary, the system says this student is not eligible because she is currently using OSAP. But once you're done with the OSAP, then there's no problem. Or if you're not on OSAP and you're not doing a full-time program covered by OSAP, then you're absolutely eligible. And you're not, and of course, another program is the Second Career, which is again funded by the government. So the government wants people to use only one, support, financial support, either OBAP or OSAP or Second Career SCS funding at one point of time. Now comes the most important information, the employment and income information. So you are choosing between the 4 statuses: full-time employee, self-employed, part-time, or unemployed. As we know, a lot of newcomers are joining the program, and quite a few of them, a high percentage, are unemployed, and they click unemployed. Even if there's any support, you would still qualify for the bursary. On the next page is the information about if it applies, if it's applicable, of course, the information about the employment status of the spouse. Again, you choose which status applies to your partner, again, if applicable. And now the most important question that we want to see, and that is, what is your estimated gross annual income for the current year? So the year when you're joining the program, because the current year is 2022, it just started. So you're talking about what is your current employment income. And you also have to take in account if you are employed, but it is a contract. And if you're in a contract position, let's say a contract that ends in May, then you will have to estimate and say, okay, I'm earning $2,000 per month, but I don't know if my contract will be extended.
Mhm.
Currently, I'm on contract until May. So you just calculate January, February, March, April, and May times 2,000, 10,000. So that's the expected gross annual income for the current year. Same thing for your spouse. And here's the table that helps you self-assess your eligibility after you entered the amounts, the expected amounts on the top of the page. So if you're single and you expect to make up to 26,100. This is OSAP information, so it applies to OBAP too. So if you're making less than, you expect to make less than 26,100, then you're eligible. You don't have dependents, you don't have to enter anything. But if you are working and you reported some income, if you didn't say I'm unemployed, you said I'm working part-time, then the most recent pay stub would need to be submitted along with the application, and it can be uploaded in the system. And then you see, is it two people in the household, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? If there's more than yourself, you have to list the full name of the family member. Parents who live with you are dependents, especially if they're not employed. Of course, children are. So, for example, for a 4-member household, you and your spouse can make up to 50,500 in employment income. I'm really highlighting the word employment income. So if you're making less than that, if you expect less than 50,500, you would be eligible for the bursary. As I mentioned, a huge percent, in fact, 98% of our students are using the bursary to attend our program.
Okay. Katerina, give us a deadline. If people are, like really interested in the program, what's the deadline for them?
That's a great question. Thank you, Cynthia. So we are in the final stages of recruiting, because throughout the year, people are showing they heard about a program, they found a flyer at an agency, they heard from their employment advisor, career advisor. So they have been contacting us, and we would keep that list of interested candidates. And we contacted them all once the government approved the bursary. So we have some who have been waiting to hear the good news. And also now we are running, as I mentioned, info sessions, and we are promoting the program, letting people know that there's a bursary, that the bursary is available. So because we're starting on March 12th and March 19th, we want to finish the enrollment and the orientation by the end of February. But there's a lot of interest, so we always encourage people, the deadline is today. No, really, as soon as possible. Put yourself on the list of candidates. Send an email to Danielle or apply and start the process. It's pretty straightforward. It doesn't take much if you have prepared all your documents, a photo, a scan. You may have all these CLB in an electronic format, so you can just upload them in the application form. The sooner, the better, I would say. But definitely by the end of February, we want to know our groups. We want to know our students, because we want to take them by the hand from then on and help them hit the ground running when we start the program. Because, as mentioned, the courses are a combination of online and virtual sessions. So for the virtual sessions, you just have to be ready on Saturday at 10 o'clock to join the Zoom link that the instructors will send. Between these sessions on Saturdays, you have some work to do on your own, not more than 5 to 6 hours per week, to prepare for the next class, or to work with your group, or to do your assignments, the assignments that your instructors will specify at the sessions on Saturdays. So 2 modules online on the Ryerson Learning Management System, Desire to Learn. What a beautiful name, right? Desire to Learn, D2L. So because some people do not have any experience how Desire to Learn works, we will have orientation sessions for all of the groups, all 6 groups, again, to prepare people how to create their Ryerson student number, their Ryerson identity, how to use Ryerson's RAMS, the student system, and how to access the course. Once we have those groups ready, we will send the list of student names and Ryerson student number to the registrar's office. Everybody will be enrolled without having to pay a dime. And then we will use the money from the government and cover. Well, that's what the Student Financial Aid Office does, and they will cover what our students owe. So at the end of the day, by the 31st of March, we will really be done, and the fun has already started in mid-March.
Oh, yeah. So, as you said, the sooner the better, my friends. If you really want to apply, go and do it today, no later. Katerina, so we are coming to the end of the interview. I would like to close. I mean, you are an immigrant as well. So, the bridge, most of the people who follow the bridge are immigrants from the Latin American community. I would like you, if you can please give us an advice for an immigrant who is starting its new life here in Canada.
Well, there was a study, U of T did a study looking for factors, looking for what helps newcomers succeed in Canada. I don't think it's difficult to guess which one was number one, but really top number one predictor of success. It is attitude.
Wow.
Attitude proved to be the most important factor that really determines who will make it and who will really struggle. So positive attitude, first of all, be optimistic, be outgoing, be out there, and have the self-confidence, which, as I mentioned, is the top one feedback that we are receiving from our students, that they got that self-confidence, that they knew how to respond to some questions, tough questions at interviews, and how to network. Because again, networking is definitely again, very, very important thing, because now with the pandemic, it's not easy, but still there are ways, and go to anything, any info session, any career fair, any job fair that you may get the information about. Everything virtual for now, but eventually in person. So I have been attending all of the career and the job fairs, and I've met a lot of immigrants that come there, that meet people, that submit their resumes. And LinkedIn, as probably you covered that topic too, LinkedIn is a very strong way, like a very strong weapon for people to meet people and ask for a coffee date, ask for a virtual date, 10-15 minutes of somebody's time. So a lot of research. And I know there's a lot of immigration and settlement agencies that are doing an amazing job, and we collaborate with them all because it's synergy, right? It takes more people to help a newcomer make it and get a job in their field. Because we are a bridge training program, I always say, and luckily you're also bridge. It is a bridge, and I always say to people at our sessions, the bridge is not from here to here, right? A bridge tries to take you on the other side of the river, the canal, whatever, and not take you down, not bring you at the entry level. So what we really wish for our participants, and that's what bridge training programs is all about, to help you get as close to the level where you were before immigrating to Canada, because underemployment is not a good thing. Unemployment is worse, but underemployment is something that we
Yes.
want to avoid.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And what a great way to close this interview. As you said, many students are coming at the end of the program and say, you know what, I gained confidence on myself, and I can talk about my own experience, right? Like it is, I always say, like, coming to Canada is a sort of self-esteem career. You need, to say like, yes, I can do this. In Mexico, I was able to do this. Why not in Canada? Maybe you just need a little bit of help from
Yes,
Ryerson University, from WCC, from many experts who can help you at the end to cross that bridge,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
I love it. Thank
And
you
here
so
you
much,
are,
Katerina.
here you are, here we are. And as I said, it takes more than one agency, one program to really make it. So be open, be out there, be proactive, find a mentor. And as mentioned, people in Canada are really willing to help others. Luckily, Canada is very open to immigration and kind. And if you ask someone for advice, they would really gladly give you the advice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And be optimistic, as you said.
Attitude is all.
Oh,
Positive
yeah.
attitude. Positive attitude.
Absolutely. Katerina, thank you so much for being with us
You're
today.
welcome.
I definitely encourage many people from our audience to go and apply. As I said, I was a student myself, and I can tell you after my own experience that this is such a great opportunity for all of you. Thank you
Thank
again.
you for being the advocate, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Y bueno, amigos, pues espero que les haya gustado esta entrevista que tuvimos con Katerina Velaselkowska, como mencionamos, Program Manager de Workplace Communication in Canada Program en Ryerson University. Y yo quiero cerrar agradeciendo nuevamente a Carla Vadillo. Carla es agente de hipotecas en este país, es además una de las principales patrocinadoras de The Bridge Canada. Por eso le agradecemos mucho, mucho, mucho su confianza y su apoyo a nuestro proyecto, y hoy también que pues, nos esté ayudando con la realización de este video. Les dejamos en pantalla sus vías de contacto si es que ustedes quieren contactar a Carla Vadillo. Yo por lo pronto me despido. Muchas gracias por acompañarnos. Bye.